stuff, and then I will edit it, I will post it to YouTube, I'll go back here on Facebook, and I'll actually add a link, and you can see how much we do in post to make these videos look good. All right, so I'm using a Mevo product, and you can see on my phone, this is giving me a preview, but the phone isn't actually part of the review, so I'm going to just sort of hide it on the side here. That should work. I have a remote control so that when I'm ready, I can get my video camera going, because I'm not going to use this feed. I have a camera just behind it. I have a wired microphone, and I have to crawl up my shirt, all the stuff that happens behind the scenes. You'd be surprised at studios where they've gotten very savvy that, like, having a guy putting a microphone on a young woman's blouse, not such a great thing. So they've gotten very savvy about letting you do your own miking. But we don't need to do that either. Let's see. So, well, let's see. Everything looks good. I have a monitor behind me so I can see what's on my video camera. And I guess it's framed okay. It's a little tight on the top, but I think that'll work out okay. So what I'm going to do is, with my remote control, I'm going to go ahead and start the recording. Now, I have a standard routine that I do for my videos where I do a couple of second intro, then I cut to my intro titles, then I cut back to the actual video that I'm doing, and I will be actually demonstrating this secure ID card by logging into my Mac with it. So I'll also be spinning the computer around so you'll be able to see. So you have a little ringside seat here. All the fun, none of the hassle of my cats attacking you. So that's all kind of nice. All right, so for a couple minutes, I'm not going to be looking at this camera. I'm going to be looking at that camera. So my eyes will be off. And in the background, I can see our dog is going crazy in the snow. You don't get to see that either. Sorry. So we're going to get started. So let's get this recording. And then I just need to sort of hide things because I don't want that in the shot. So here we go. And by the way, the microphones have an automatic gain, so I create some sound prior to starting to talk, and that mutes the background sounds a bit, so it all works out better. But that's why you hear me laughing just before I start. It's not because I'm going crazy, although who knows, maybe I'm going crazy, but we'll just proceed and see how this goes. 1, 2, and does this look like something that'll log you into your computer? Let's find out. Yeah, we'll take that one again. And log into your computer with this secure ID card. Let's check this out. That was better. So now that's my intro, and right now we'd be running the regular sort of video sequence, and I have a bunch of notes just below the camera. So it's going to seem like I know a lot about this product, and I know some about it, but it's going to make me sound pretty smart, hopefully. So we're going to go. So one, and Dave Taylor here, and I'm looking at this. This is the GoTrust IDEM card. It's actually really cool. This is a public key cryptography card, which means that it looks like just a regular credit card, but there's all sorts of smarts inside. And it uses public and private keys to do a handshake for security. Now, from a security perspective, this works with what's known as FIDO, which is Fast ID Online. So it's FIDO2 and FIDO2 U2F. And that means that it works with a whole lot of services. And not only that, but you can use it for logging in, not just for like second factor authentication. All of this is really good. But it supports, let's see, it works with ISO 7816 smart card ecosystems. It is FIPS 140-2 level 3 certified. And it also works with PIV, PKI, and other physical access systems. So that means, for example, if you work at a federal office, they use PIV systems, smart cards, for all access control for all facilities. So you can actually download some Java card apps onto this, and you could also use this to verify that you have access to this top secret facility, right? Cool, all on this card. Now, in terms of a little more mundane level, I can use this for things like logging into Windows through Windows Hello. I can log into my Mac, and I'm going to show you that in just a second. You can use this to log into Android or iOS devices. Pretty handy. and any FIDO-enabled service. And again, FIDO is not the dog. FIDO is actually Fast ID Online. It's a whole protocol and system, super secure stuff, really pretty cool, actually. And services that support that include Google, Dropbox, Facebook, Box, Microsoft. There's a lot of things you can use this for. Pretty handy, right? And if you are already in a facility where you have an ID badge, you can easily slip this into that pocket and it'll still be close enough because it uses what they call BLE, Bluetooth Low Energy. And it also works with NFC. So if you have an Android phone that supports near field communication, you can use that and have this actually help log you into that device. Cool. Now, all well and good, let me give you a demo. So here I am. My Mac is not logged in. And then all I'm going to do is on the identity card, I'm going to push the edge to wake it up. And there's a little blue light that comes on. And then that should log me in here. And I'm logged in. How cool is that, right? So no worries about super complicated passwords, no worries about forgetting passwords, no worries about key sniffers, no worries about cameras watching you typing in. All of that is sidestepped by having a secure ID card. So pretty handy. Now, this is actually powered by a battery. And again, you look at this and you're like, how the heck do they squeeze all that into this card? It's kind of magic, but it does require charging. So this comes with a charger. How about that? So this is a secure ID card charger. You just simply slip the card in, plug this into whatever you need. Generally, it takes about 2 hours for a full charge, and that charge, it will now work for 600 uses, or it'll be on standby for 120 days. So basically, I would say is if at the very first day of every month, you plug it in and charge it while you're having lunch, you'll never ever have to think about it again. So really cool. And again, what makes this really interesting is that you don't need to have really complicated passwords because you have this instead. And this doesn't just store a password or anything like this. Like I said, this is a public key cryptography system. It's basically a computer that's on a credit card. So what happens is that the system challenges the card and the card generates a response. And that's different every single time you use it. So yes, if someone gets this, then they have access. But think about this. If you're using a typed password, there's a lot more ways someone can actually snag that password or trick you out of it. In fact, over 50% of Fortune 1000 companies say they've had issues with people giving up passwords to secure areas, which then means that the computer systems can be violated or data stolen or all sorts of bad things. With something like this, if you know you've lost your card, you just let IT know, or you go yourself and you just disable it, and now it doesn't work at all. And someone just has basically a really funky looking piece of plastic. So, really cool, very modern, very like sort of James Bond sort of thing, you know, a little bit maybe less exciting than a retina scan, but less scary than a retina scan. If you've seen all the James Bond movies, you know what I'm talking about. So, really not much else to talk about other than the price, and this is actually quite affordable if you really want to ratchet up the security at your facility or with your services, right? You could use this for all sorts of ways to ensure that your remote workers are really who they say they are and that they really should have access to all of this data and information. It's pretty darn important. But before we get to the price, I'm going to ask if you can go ahead and subscribe to my channel. Really appreciate when you do that. It's one button. Just click that button and subscribe. Awesome. Now, okay, this is the GoTrust IDEM card, and it is $60 at Amazon.com, and it's a pretty interesting device. If nothing else, it might be worth getting just so you can experiment and try out different ways you can use this and different ways this little tiny credit card can help you stay secure. And with that, I think I am going to go ahead and charge it, and I'm going to log back in, which means I'll catch you in my next video. And that's it. So basically, one of the things I try to do with my videos is I try to have a single continuous take. And this one went pretty smoothly. There was only a couple of little stumbles, but there are times when I'm halfway through my video and suddenly a cat shows up or something doesn't work, or what really drives me bonkers is when I'm in the middle of giving a demo and for some reason it's just not functional at that moment. And this just happens. There are times I throw the whole thing away. There are times that my daughter steps into the camera and says, "Hi, Dad."
Hello, fans.
So she didn't do that during a live video, which I appreciate. But, really, there's not a lot of editing. That's one of the great things about doing a continuous shot like that. And this is another example of what would drive me bonkers if I was recording and my daughter's phone went off. So let's see where we are. So I thought you might also enjoy, let me stand up. Let me give you a quick tour of what I'm seeing, right? So I'm going to turn this around and I'm going to zoom out. And so here's what I'm seeing, right? So here's the camera and we'll zoom in on that. You can see my notes just below it. And what I do with my notes is I try to just have sort of bullet point items so that I can say things like ISO 7816 without actually ending up thinking about the wrong one. And then if I zoom out further, you can see I have lights, and you can't see anything behind the lights because they're so bright, but I have that specifically because I'm sitting next to a window, and windows are nice and bright, and it's very pretty. And in fact, here you can now see our dog cavorting in the snow, but the problem with it is that it ends up being really bright, so it's really hard to compete. So I'm going to go ahead and spin down, but I hope this was fun and entertaining and interesting. So leave me some comments and some feedback, and I will catch you in my next live stream.